This is a mechanics video for Pikachu's UpB. I'm going to go through the useful angles in some common situations and share some graphics to help with the visualization. But before we get to that, I'd like to cover a few simple things. The first is that you can run off stage to grab the ledge very easily by using Pikachu's UpB and holding down diagonally into the stage. This can be very useful when you're trying to set up a gimp on somebody at low percents. Here I read Falcon's second jump and forward smash him, and then edge hog using this technique. Next, since Pikachu ends facing right when you UpB vertically, you can easily snap to the ledge on the left side of the stage by going up and down. Here's our first graphic depicting Pikachu's absurd vertical recovery. So we're going to UpB directly upwards and then up and to the right, and we're going to immediately let go of the thumbstick to extend the UpB, which is denoted by this dotted line. You'll note that you always want to have a horizontal component as the second component in your recovery UpBs because that allows us to gain more distance with the extended UpB technique. I include this angle just to illustrate how insanely comfortable Pikachu should feel off stage. One of our standard combo setups includes a fast fall aerial while we have no jump. This first angle is about snapping to the ledge from off stage. If we can position ourselves along this black diagonal, then UpBing down and to the left will get us directly to the ledge. So we can sort of complete the triangle by going up and to the left, down to the left, or we can shorten the second portion of that by being a little lower, and always parallel to this black line we can use the exact same triangle angle. So this gives us sort of a diagonal buffer on both sides of the stage where we can use a similar angle to snap to the ledge. So if I am level with the stage and a decent distance away, then I'm completing the triangle perfectly. And as I get lower, I need to get closer to the stage, a proportionate amount for this same angle to work. So you can see that this is going to be really useful while you're recovering off stage. If we see it zoomed in, this is just as you sort of start to leave the screen, depending on when your opponent is standing. And once again, you can sort of practice this to get an intuitive feel for how close you need to be based on how low you are. Snapping to the ledge is also very important offensively. As you watch this clip, you can see that I carry the Donkey Kong off stage and then use a triangle up B to get to the ledge, which allows me to easily punish his recovery. Perhaps if I had landed on stage instead, I wouldn't have been able to. In this next example, even though I mess up, I'm able to race Falcon back to the ledge and he dies. The next angle is when Pikachu is below the stage recovering, so they start somewhere inside of this red dot. And I've found that by far the most useful thing to do is get to this black line and then UpB down into the ledge like we just saw with the triangle UpB. However, we have more options. We can UpB outwards and then horizontally to snap to the ledge, or we can simply try to go above our opponent onto this side platform. Of course, this is also a symmetric situation. These first two UpBs will both get us onto the ledge, but they do so at different timings based on when we start our UpB, which is nice. And the last one is a good way to not get to the ledge if our opponent is reading it. So this is a really important spot to be comfortable with, so I encourage you to get into training mode and figure out where Pikachu needs to be with whatever camera angle to get each of these UpBs. In this first example, I used the UpB offensively. After messing up this Fox Gimp, I am still able to fast fall to my spot and beat him to the ledge. Now the tables have turned and Fox is continually stuffing my option number 1, so I switch up the timing by using option number 2. This next spot is really common when we are recovering at a low percent or are edge hopping. So you can see that we are already on that black diagonal, so obviously we can just UpB to the edge, or we can UpB up and over, perhaps getting ourselves an edge cancel, or we can UpB diagonally and over, perhaps getting us an edge cancel. Of course, this is also a symmetric position. I'll mention that ledge hopping and then UpBing back to the ledge is actually quite powerful since it will refresh our invincibility, but from the same position we also have the option of UpBing to either of the two far side platforms. Now you should think of the possible edge cancels we get when we UpB to the platforms just as perks. Really the important thing is that we have the options to get to 3 different places from the same position. We can also take advantage of this nice 45-degree angle to snap to the ledge while we're on stage. So if we're standing on one of the side platforms, we can UpB horizontally to get to the black line and then down into the edge. And we can do this while we're in the air beneath the platform or even on the ground in between the side and the top platforms. So this gives us sort of a diagonal buffer where we can UpB to the edge from on stage. Of course, this is also symmetric for the right-hand side, but the other angle. This angle actually has a little bit more leeway than it looks like. So even if you're in slightly different positions horizontally or vertically than the graphic seems to indicate, you can still get to the edge. Now, of course, it does suck when you accidentally kill yourself with this, so I recommend you practice it a while and get comfortable before you use it in a game, but it really becomes invaluable once you've mastered it. Perhaps the most useful situation is when you're facing shield pressure on the side platform. You can simply up B out and retreat to the ledge. Let's talk about a few more angles which can give you additional options. The first is to up B horizontally and then diagonally upward into the stage, either getting you underneath an edge guarder or, as I'm showing here, sort of riding the edge of the stage to get back to the ledge. The same idea can be used vertically by going directly upwards and then diagonally into the stage to get more vertical distance. Here's a cute one which you don't actually really use in real life, but I just wanted to show that you can go all the way under the stage with Pikachu's up B. And finally, from the spot where we have a triple threat to return to the stage, we can also use this strange little mind game and the extended up B to recover. So here's a short training drill to allow you to practice a lot of up Bs in a short amount of time. We're going to start on the side platform and up B straight horizontally, extending it and getting the edge cancel on the side. Then we're going to up B vertically and over horizontally to edge cancel on the top platform, and finally up B horizontally and then vertically down to snap to the ledge. This drill is much easier to do starting on the left side platform, since the final up B will end with you facing right unless you have very good thumbstick control. So once you've gotten it down, you can just continue looping it by ledge hopping and landing on that side platform to give it another go. The second up B in the sequence, this one right here, which gets you the edge cancel on the top platform, is also very useful to get yourself out of a corner in a real game. I'd like to leave you with a final piece of advice, if I may. So we've gotten really good at all of these up Bs and we're perfect at snapping to the ledge. We noticed that, oh yes, we can get a perfect triangle up B here. Not realizing, of course, that the Kirby is posturing to down air the edge. So let's rewind this situation and use our brain instead. And we're going to go with a nice piece of advice, which is that it is better to live than to get the perfect angle and die. I'd like to add a disclaimer to the end of this video that there are tons of really useful Pikachu up Bs I did not cover. So this is just a stepping off point.